what's happening? Welcome to today's video, and today we're going to be talking more about blues and blues rhythm and how we can do things with the straight ahead 12 bar structure without really changing the structure at all, but what can we do within the structure to make our blues rhythms sound a little hipper, or actually quite frankly a lot hipper. All right, now before we get into it, if you do dig my videos, check out the links. There's stuff in the description, whether it's up there or down there, wherever you're checking out the video. There are cool things in the links that help me support the channel, keep bringing the content, the content out here. Okay, so with that said, let's get into it. Now we're going to be, we're in the key of A today. It's a key of A kind of day. Okay, so we're in the key of A. And we're looking at a 12 bar blues in the key of A. And, and we're going to be adhering in this case to the straight ahead structure. Now, we know that we can do things like trick out our turnarounds on a 12 bar blues. And if you're into that kind of thing, you can check out the video that I did on that. There's a link up there, right? There'll be a link up there somewhere where you can check that video out if you're looking to get your turnaround sounding cool. But this is just, how can you just play a straight ahead blues 12 bar without changing the structure, without altering the turnaround at all, but make it sound really hip all the same. Okay, so again, a quick recount, right? Just quickly, like, what is a 12 bar? You have 3 lines of 4 bars, okay? And in simplest terms, which is how you want to think about this application, is in the simplest terms of what's going on with the 12 bar. You have the first 4 bars, the first line of 4 bars is your 1 chord. Then you get to the second line, which is those 4 bars, which your 5th and 6th bar is your 4 chord. But then your 7th and 8th bar is back to the 1 chord, right? Okay? We're talking 1, 4, 5, okay? In the key of A, you're looking at A, D, and E chords, right? So then we're getting now to the 3rd line, where your 9th bar is going to be the 5 chord, then the 10th bar goes down to the 4 chord, right? The 11th bar is your 1 chord, and then the 12th bar is the 5 chord, and then it goes reset, right? Back to the first bar, you go through your 12 bars again, okay? But that's the structure we're talking about. So what can we do without changing that structure to just make our blues rhythms sound cooler? Okay, that's what this is all about. Now this is going to use chromatic movement, right? Using things in half steps. And once you get hip to being able to move around in half steps, you could do all kinds of cool things with your rhythm. And in the case of this blues application we're going to be looking at, you could do almost anything, as long as you adhere to the structure, which means coming in on the chords at the right times in the structure of the 12 bar. So you need to be hip to that. You just need to know, okay, which bars, what chords are on, and then you can do what I'm going to show you right now, and you'll really spiff out your blues, rhythm guitar playing, okay? So we're going to be looking at like dominant 7 chords, maybe some 9 chords, okay, but dominant 7 chords predominantly like A7, D7, E7 chords, okay? Maybe we'll throw a 9 on the 5 chord for the E7, maybe a 9 on the D for the D7 or a D9. But generally speaking, we're looking at 7 chords. Just move your 7 chords around, right? Okay, so let's get the ticker going right now. If we're playing our straight ahead 12 bar, we know that we've got the structure that we just talked about before, right? So let's just go through the blues real quick, like straight ahead, as it would be, with the changes where they should be without doing anything other than just playing those chords at the bars where they should be, right? So we get the ticker going, right? We have some tempo, right? Remember, we're just sticking to the straight ahead 12 bar, right? With some 7 chords for everything. So 1 measure, 2nd measure, right? All on the 1 chord, 3rd measure, 4th measure. Then we go to the 4 chord for 2 bars, right? 4 and 5. Back to the 1 chord. To the 5 chord, to the 4 chord, to the 1 chord, back to the 5 for the last bar, and then it resets. and then it starts over again, right? Okay, cool. There's your straight ahead 12 bar without doing anything at all other than playing those chords. Now here's what we're going to do now. I'm going to show you how can we trick that out just using some chromatic movement, right? Well, just know that you can move your chords around in half steps in either direction. As long as you come onto the changes of your 12 bar where the changes are supposed to be for the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord, you could do this and you'll exponentially, trick out your blues rhythm without having to do anything crazy or learn any new chords or learn any new theory or anything. Just know your blues structure, okay? Simple as that. Just know your blues structure and good things will happen, okay? So if we're looking at chromatic movement, we're like taking chords and moving them around in half steps. That's what the chromatic thing's all about. Half step movement, semitones, half steps, right? So what I just did with like that A7 bar chord, right? I just moved it around in half steps. A half step up, then some half steps back down. I can go however far in either direction I want to go with half steps, as long as if I'm playing my blues, which we'll be doing in a second, I go to the changes where the changes are supposed to be and make sure that I hit that chord where it should be on the changes when they come in. And this kind of thing all of a sudden will sound really cool, okay? So let me give you some examples. All right, now we'll put the ticker back on. We have some time. We're talking about some blues, right? Blues in A, 12 bar. And I'm quarter comping these just so you could hear the beats. But, you get the idea, right? We want to move around half steps, right? Step it down half steps, okay? E7, right? Coming around the last 4 bars. Okay, do some more, right? Go to the 4 chord where it should come in, right? Move that around in half steps a little bit. Coming on the changes where they should be, or you're gonna be fine. And there you have it. All you have to know is where to come in on your blues changes, what measures the 1 chord, the 4 chord, the 5 chord come in at, and you can go ahead and just move chords around in half steps like that, right? And just exponentially add some wholesome goodness into a simple blues progression without having to learn any new theory, any new chords, anything new. Just know that you can move your chord around in half steps and come in on the changes in time. Okay, that is it for today's video on blues rhythm, okay? You'll get a lot of mileage out of this. The more that you do it, the easier it gets. It's lots of fun, okay? Remember, if you dig the videos, like, share, subscribe to the channel. Let friends know if they dig this kind of stuff. Tell them to come on into the videos over here. Check me out. Links in the description to all kinds of cool things that help me out. Okay, and until next time, have fun playing your guitar. Peace.